Hey everybody, it's Nikki here with Delicate Tension Tarot, and today is going to be a reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of heavy Capricorn or influential Capricorn placements in your chart. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody out there. Also, the energy sometimes can be reversed. So if you're inquiring about somebody, sometimes I can be speaking about them, and you are the alternating energy. Right, I hope everybody's doing well out there and taking care of yourself. I do have new additions to my description box below. I've been trying to keep up with like putting timestamps on things because I know not everybody likes to hear me do opening statements or just like rambling on, which I totally get. But in my description box below, I have added a link to my website, which I finally got launched. There you can find reviews, links to my Instagram where I do my daily collective posts, reviews, did I already say that? Appointments. So I have 3 different types of appointments you can set, and I have been telling people that I am more than open to working with you for the Zoom or phone call payment, especially considering everything that's going on financially in the world right now, so I totally understand. Just shoot me an email and we'll try to work something out. If this does end up resonating with you, please hit like, share, or subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated to help me build my channel. Thank you for all the returning people out there who have been supporting me since I started this in September. It's taken me a few years as a reader, you know, just doing it professionally to really branch out and do this, especially since I'm not one to, I don't know, talk on camera. It's weird. It's weird. But I've gotten used to it, so it's been a nice change and a nice little, you know, boosting confidence in myself. It's always good to have confidence, right? Okay, so enough of that. Let's see what's going on with you. What's happening here with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for April 15th through the 30th? What's happening with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising? Okay. So we have the Star in reverse. So you guys may be pretty affected right now by the current state of things. The Star in reverse is kind of like a lack of hope or a lack of faith in something. I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that typically as Capricorn individuals, you guys are very hardworking. You like to be on the front lines. You like to be involved. You like to be doing something. And I think that sitting down and not really doing much can kind of, you know, make you guys a little disgruntled a bit, which is totally understandable. But yeah, there's just something here where I feel like there's a loss of hope, trust, or faith in something. And I think too, maybe you guys are having a hard time with the isolation piece or aspect, because maybe there's still some stuff you guys need to look at, tend to, or heal, and you just don't feel like doing that, right? So yeah, let's see what the block is. What's the block here for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? What is the block? We have the 2 of Swords, so you're needing to make a decision on something, or you're waiting on somebody else to make a decision. 2 of Swords usually means that you're having to use your intuition and not what it is that you see. It's also a protection of your heart space. So there's an, for me personally, it's like you're having to go off of the way that intuitively you feel before you make the decision. And maybe with the space that you're in with the Star in reverse, it's a little difficult to do that. Or if it has something to do with somebody else needing to make the decision, maybe that also has kind of put a damper a little bit on your energy. Let's see what's happening in the subconscious sector here. So subconsciously we have the Emperor. That's some pretty strong energy, even though it is typically Aries energy for me. Subconsciously you could be thinking about an individual that's in Aries, somebody who's very dependable, strong, responsible, respectful. They take responsibility for their choices and actions, or this could be you in this energy. You know, and it's And it's lower vibrational energy. It can be somebody who is very dominating, controlling, domineering. But I don't really get that just yet. We're going to, of course, pull clarifier cards for everything. So let's see what's been happening in the recent past here. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So something might have been released or let go of in the recent past. This could have been expectations. This could be attached also to the Star in reverse energy. Maybe somebody let go of you or you let go of somebody else. This could be also a job situation where you were let go or where you walked away. Let's see what's happening in the higher self sector here. So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So your higher self is definitely being more vulnerable, which I find interesting. It also could just lead to being exhausted. I almost feel like it's because you don't have a place for all of your energy to go like you normally do. Maybe it's just been kind of building up inside of you and kind of rattling inside of a cage, and it's just you've literally like exhausted yourself from feeling the way that you felt recently. Let's see what's happening in the near future here. What's happening in the near future for Capricorn? There we go. Two of Pentacles in reverse, so I definitely think a decision will be made to focus on one particular thing. Yeah, and we have the Lovers. So it's definitely a choice between two people, or it could be an aspect inside of yourself. Like I said, we'll clarify everything shortly. Let's see what's happening in your emotional sector. We have the Two of Wands, once again another choice card. We have the Five of Cups. And then we have the Page of Wands in reverse, with Justice on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like emotionally you're kind of at a crossroads here, because there's not much you can do other than grieve the current state of the situation that you're in. There really might have been some form of a loss here. Could have been a job that you really cared about, could have been a person, whether that's friend, family member, or love relationship. I think right now you're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely think that you're trapped in kind of a space where you just want to feel how you want to feel, and that's acceptable. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. Let's see what's happening around you. So you have the Magician. With Temperance in reverse. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. And the Ace of Swords in the upright. Okay. So with what's happening around you, I feel like things occurring around you either have happened very quickly or are happening very quickly. Temperance in the reverse for me is usually a card of imbalance. So is the Knight of Swords. Usually in the upright, he is fast enough already, and kind of removing any obstacle that's in his way without thinking, right? It's thinking, or it's doing before thinking. Very quick movement, no time to care for anything other than what their main objective is. And with Temperance in the reverse, that is an imbalance of emotions, of stability. It's definitely not being in some form of equilibrium. So with what's going on around you, this could be the individual that you're attached to. I feel like with the Magician, it's not in its reverse, but I still feel like the other cards supporting it or surrounding it, I kind of have an issue with. I feel like whatever this is, it's like the energy around you is potent. I think there's something to pull from that. I think there's some way in which you could work with it to create a positive outcome in your situation. But I feel like if it has to do with another person, or if it has to do with getting another person on board, I'd really think about it before you do it. because this other person isn't in a good place. I'll put it to you that way. They're not in a good place. They're not in the best place they could be to make the kind of decisions that need to be made. I really feel like right now it's simply about the truth at the heart of the matter. If it's not time, then it's not time, and I think there needs to be something accepted within that. Also, I feel like because there's really unstable and erratic energy in the situation to begin with on both sides, I feel like there has to be time for healing. There has to be time for a recognition of releasing what has happened in the past and finding some form of resolve in it. And I feel like, you know, I've had a few people out there that are like, well, I need answers from this person to get that. And part of me is like, do you? Do you? Like, do you really need those answers? I think sometimes we feel like we need the answer. But I also feel like sometimes it's either needing the answer for validation on our end, or it's needing the answer for the sheer concept of us to stop punishing ourselves about what happened in the situation. I feel like the answers are already there, too, with the Ace of Swords being here. The answers are definitely already there. So it also could be possible that, you know, maybe you weren't listening to the answer at that time, or this person wasn't. Let's see what's happening in the hopes and fears. We have the Artist in reverse. So there might be a fear that whatever dream it was that you had for your future is no longer a potential in your world. Let's see what the far-reaching outcome and advice is here. So we have the Three of Cups. That's a good sign. Five of Swords. A little bit of intense energy. Three of Swords. And then the Page of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's going to be some regret or remorse for the way things happened or ended. I do feel like there needs to be time for reflection, for sure. Somebody needs to think about their choices and actions in the situation, especially if they were the ones that caused the pain. And normally I wouldn't get this from this card, but it feels this way. I mean, if you have friends that are connected to the both of you, you might hear some form of gossip. Because anytime I see this Three of Cups card, usually it is a card of joy, celebration, happiness, support, which I do feel like you have. But I also feel like when I look at them, they remind me of like sirens, like the women who call you out to sea and kind of lure you to your doom. So whenever I see these women singing, I always feel like each of them is singing something different, or they're saying something different. So there's a little bit of like, I'm always like, what is it that they're saying, or what is it that they're telling you, or what is it that they're putting out there in the situation? So I would just be careful about what it is that you're hearing, and I really would appreciate it if you trusted your own intuition on this one. Because I do think there's an offer or an opportunity here, but I'm just not quite sure if it's going to be what you're going to want at the end of the day, because the Page of Pentacles is something very small. Pages are breadcrumbs. They're not much, you know. A page is kind of like a, you know, like, hey, maybe I'll see you around. It's not, let's make some effort and time to fix this. It's, you know, maybe I'll see you once this is all over. Maybe we can have a drink sometime or grab some coffee, or maybe we can talk on the phone. Like, it's something very, very small that has potential, but it requires effort. And whether or not the person puts in the effort is a whole nother story. So let's clarify the Star in reverse here. What's the Star in reverse for Capricorn? We have the World in reverse. So yeah, I feel like what could have been a celebratory, happy experience or closure or completion to a cycle, there was a lack of that. Maybe it's because something was left open-ended. That's where a lot of this energy of, you know, possibly despair, hopelessness, lack of faith. It's just a feeling of being incomplete. It's a feeling of being incomplete. Let's clarify the Two of Swords. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So another block is that there is time here. And it is not about your time. It's not about your timing. It's not about this person's timing. The Wheel of Fortune is about the design of fate, and is about the changing of time, the changing of seasons. Also, I've always told people that when the wheel spins, right, it's all about what we're carrying. If we're carrying a lot of unresolved issues, the wheel gets stuck. It can't move because we're carrying baggage. So it becomes a weight, it becomes an anchor that stops the wheel from moving. So a lot of times we have to make conscious choices and decisions to let certain things go, or to at least to release our energy in a way where the wheel can take its turn so that we can get to where we're going. And I feel like that also might be another issue here, because even though in the past it shows you with the Four of Pentacles in reverse and it shows the Nine of Wands in reverse, which is kind of a release and a vulnerability and a letting go of something, the fact of the matter is that there's still pain here, and there's still stuff that needs to be sorted through and filtered out. So you might have physically released something. You might have, you know, stopped keeping barriers or guards up where this other person did, but there's still emotions that need to be worked through. Let's clarify the Emperor here. We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, someone or something might be making you feel quite stuck. Or if you don't have a way out in the situation. Or you might feel like someone is in control of what the outcome is. Let's see what the Four of Pentacles in the recent past is about. Four of Pentacles in reverse again. So something was definitely released. Change came in to help you, or at least push you in the direction of letting something go. Or this other person. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay, Nine of Wands in reverse is clarified by the Four of Cups and the Two of Swords in reverse. I just think somebody here got tired of fighting for something that ended up being the same thing over and over again. Like somebody here wasn't recognizing the beauty and potential in a thing. They might have taken it for granted. But really they didn't want to put the energy into it anymore, because they either started feeling like they were seeing the same stuff over and over again without any sort of different result. Yeah. Maybe too, there might have been some repetition around trying to heal the situation and it just never changed. So it could have been trying to heal something together and there was never any resolution found. Because the stream in the Four of Cups is going down towards the Star card in reverse. So I think this is all about individual healing. And if this isn't really in a relationship, it could be a job situation. Like maybe you tried to make something work within your job and it just never did, and you never got what you deserved. And you might have had a boss or somebody who was above you who constantly made you feel either threatened or threatened your job security in general, or made you feel small. And it's kind of like the universe wanted to step in and go, you know what, like we got to get rid of this. Because nothing is ever going to change for you. You're never going to accomplish what you need to accomplish and go where you need to go if you don't let this go. So those changes might have been made for you if you were resisting letting them go. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Lovers here. So we have the Magician in reverse. And the Star. So I think in the near future there is a potential to heal this, but I would be very careful because of the fact that the Magician is in reverse in the near future. And I was kind of already feeling that way when I saw the Magician in the upright and what was happening around you at this current point in time, because I'm like, somebody might be trying to make something happen without actually thinking about what it is that they're doing. Like there's a lot of backwards intention being put in here. With the truth in mind, but at the same time, I think it might be more about victory or satisfaction. Because they're not balanced mentally or emotionally. And they're not seeing the clear picture. So in the near future, there might be a decision that ends up being made. It's quite possible that there will be focus put back on something in order to heal it. But I would really encourage you to do this healing on your own. because I really do think you're the only person who can do this. I feel like if you allow someone else to have control of the situation, it's not going to play out the way that you really need it to. Let's clarify the Two of Wands here. Yeah. Two of Wands, you have the Tower. So I do think a lot of this was abrupt. Let's clarify the Five of Cups. We have the Queen of Wands. And let's clarify the Page of Wands in reverse. Knight of Swords. Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff happened abruptly, and I think it happened without a lot of thought. I think it also definitely came in unexpectedly. But it's interesting because I do feel like most people, if they saw you, if they talked to you, if they had a conversation with you, they would have no idea that this was going on, unless they know you intimately. Let's clarify the Magician here. And the Three of Wands. Let's clarify Temperance in reverse. Two of Wands. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. And let's clarify the Ace of Swords in the upright. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like somebody's coming in here to make an offer that seems like it's a lot larger than what it actually is. Because I do think there's a lot of stuff that happened here prematurely without much thought put behind it. But I also feel like I don't want you to be misdirected. Because this feels like going back to revisit something. Let's clarify the Three of Cups. The outcome. Let's clarify the Three of Cups and the outcome. Knight of Wands, so that is news. That can be gossip. That can be people that are involved in the situation. Let's clarify the Five of Swords. There's that Page of Swords. Most definitely gossip. Eight of Wands in reverse. I also feel like it might be something where somebody tells you something that somebody told them a long time ago. Maybe when you were in the situation, it's like this news is just now reaching you. Let's clarify the Three of Swords here. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So yeah, this is some really intense energy. This is very intense energy. Let's clarify the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Justice. I do think that things are gonna be balanced out. Things are gonna be made fair for what it is that either you or someone else has to endure. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Somebody here is definitely gonna get what they want, but I feel like it's almost like I have to say be careful what it is that you think you want. Be careful what it is that you think is gonna make the situation better. Because with the Three of Swords, I don't know if the tables are about to be turned in this situation, but I feel like it's almost hatred and vengeance is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So yeah, I just want you to be careful with who you surround yourself with at this time, who you talk to about stuff. If people start doing any unnecessary gossip, you can tell them that you would prefer to not talk about it. I mean, unless you're like dying to and you want to get involved in this situation that is quite painful, go for it. But I just feel like at the end of the day, if you allow karma to do its work, it'll take care of everything for you. There's not really much you have to do in this situation. Honestly, when you try to do things, you only get in karma's way. And it prolongs the issue from finding a balanced resolution. But I do feel like I said, in the outcome, I feel like you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you deserve in a really positive way. But I just have to say, be careful what you wish for. So let's pull 3 clarifying cards. We have Discover. We have Meditation. So I definitely think you need to be going within right now, and Embark. I think you need to be looking at how you really feel about something. And we have the Universe at the bottom of the deck again. And Spirit was flipped over in the deck. So I feel like you really need to be allowing yourself to go within and find that internal resolve. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done around, like I said, finding resolution within the self if you can't find it in the situation. Allow yourself to kind of let some stuff go as best as you can. Try to understand that this will be resolved way better than what you could ever do if you just let the universe do its job. We have incoming message. So like I said, I do feel like there's going to be things that are going to be said that were said a long time ago, but they either never reached you, or it was something that somebody never told you that they knew. We have It's a Dead Fish. So I do feel like some of this stuff is water under the bridge, but at the same time I almost feel like whatever this is, it's not something that needs to come back into your life in a permanent way. Ooh. One more. Yep, we have Forked Tongue and Make the Frickin' Call. So, like I said, be careful who you talk to. Be careful of, you know, if they say something to you that immediately makes you feel enraged, step away from the situation. Think about the reality of what it is that they're telling you. If you don't know for certain, don't take it as truth. Put it to you that way. Reality is subjective, so we each constantly have our own different perspective on what is actually happening, especially when it comes to things that we see, hear, and say. So I just feel like you need to be really careful, or this could end up ramping you up to a place that you don't want to be in. So just try to find a center, try to find your quiet space. Try to find healing and resolve within yourself right now. Do things that you love. Be around people that you love. Be around people who support you. And don't entertain any of this negative, intense stuff that seems to be going on, whether it's work-related, family-related, friendship-related, or love-related. Healing will come. Let the universe do its job. Trust me when I say it's got your back. All right, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please make sure to check out the description box below. Like, share, subscribe, comment your own experience if you'd like to. And I'll see you guys next time.